makes Kevin Plank tick? What drives the phenomenal CEO and founder of Under Armour? Last week, while in San Francisco, we sat down and talked to Plank not just about the company's prospects, but also about what inspires him and what explains his unique take-no-prisoners attitude toward business and life in general. You see, sometimes the greatness, it's not just about the financials. Take a look. Kevin, every time I tell people I'm going to interview you, they get fired up, and they use a term, and I need you to define it for me. They say this man is generational, and he appeals to a new generation. He is next. They use the word next. How do you get to be next?
That's a great compliment, and one that I think our company looks to lead toward every day. Because truly, it happens with the decision of the culture of our brand. Like I tell our team, when you show up every day, you're either making a deposit or withdrawal. And let me be clear, like everybody has a choice, because look, some days you're going to show up to work and my wife or my husband or my kid or the dog or something, or my boss is this, and you'll have to just take. And you'll have to take from the energy of our brand. But so much of it is we expect you to walk in. You don't walk in and see our company. You walk in, you feel our company. You feel our brand. You go, I challenge anybody, if you need an energy charge, go to the Humble and Hungry Cafe at 12:15 on any given day. And watch them come together. Footwear, sales, apparel, finance. I mean, everybody comes in one room. And that idea of, number one, I end every meeting the same way. This is what I heard. This is what I think. And here's what we're going to do. And I expect everybody to do it. Like, number one, listen. I mean, really listen. Not just go in there and run your yap, and nobody wants to just hear me, but truly listen. And then also, I've got a point of view, and let them know, like, where I'm coming from. And based on what I heard and based on what I think, we're going to call the play.
What happens if someone disagrees with you?
I welcome it. I charge it. And it's my job to make sure that I'm creating an environment that allows people to do that, because the last thing you want is anything run by one person. I said 3 things that were my favorite things of 2015, where we have a new 3-year planning process. We had a shoe that won every award in the books called the Fat Tire Shoe, and we had a new 30,000 square foot brand house we built in Chicago. And I said the reason they were my 3 favorite things, I had nothing to do with any one of them. And that means the culture that we've built, the 30% top line growth, the 30% bottom line growth over the last 10 years is something that comes from truly the team and just not any one individual.
Well, how do you stay, the 3 words that you use right at the top of your conversation, how do you stay aggressive, how do you stay young, and how do you stay fearless?
Yeah, I love those words. Number one, that was a description given to us by Jordan Spieth when he was asked on television and said, why'd you choose Under Armour? What made this brand different? And he said, my game is aggressive, young, and fearless, and that's the same way that I see Under Armour. And so that wasn't something that we named ourselves. And to hear that come from the athletes, to listen to what the athletes are saying. And you know what? It fit. It absolutely fit, and it's what and who our brand is.
All right, how much is family? How much is Baltimore?
How much is Baltimore?
Yeah.
I mean, Baltimore's home. You know, Baltimore is where.
But it's a chip on the shoulder. Look, I'm from Philly. You know that. You have an even bigger chip on your shoulder. You have an even more of a complex in Baltimore.
Like I started my company in Georgetown in Washington, D.C., and I'm from there. My mother and a long line of history from D.C. And when we moved to Baltimore, people asked why. I was answering somebody yesterday. I said, I can't tell you, like something drew me there.
Yeah.
You know why? Because something fit the brand, the culture, the ethos, the work boots, the lunch pail, like that attitude of that city is something that is Under Armour, and Under Armour is Baltimore.
And you need Baltimore because of Beaverton. That's what I've always felt.
Yeah, but I don't want people to think there's not this underdog story is something that's there. But if you're going to invest somewhere in America, like you look and say, in the world, I'll invest in America. In America, the Northeast corridor, New York's New York, D.C. cat's out of the bag, but Baltimore is an amazing city that I think is just on the come. So there's 650,000 people there. If we have our growth, you know, at our investor day, we said we're going to go from 3-point-something billion to over $7.5 billion by 2018. So we recognize we're going to bring a lot of really well-paying jobs and a lot of smart people and a lot of other companies that want to support the growth our brand is going to see. And we think we can do a great job for our consumer, for our customer, for our teammates, for our shareholders, of course. And we think we do a great job for our community.
How do you stay optimistic? You have a scorecard. Unfortunately or fortunately, you have a scorecard. It's the market.
Right.
How do you make it so that scorecard is a part of a bigger puzzle? Because there'll be days where you'll create and the stock market will not respond.
Right. It's the markets are efficient over time. Okay. Everybody will say the same thing, right? Is that again, with this, in our 11th year as a public company, I look and just say, what have I learned? I've watched our stock go up. I've watched our stock come down. And what I saw the times that our stock did go down is, how can this happen? What are they thinking? We weren't running a great company. You know, we had 5 quarters of triple-digit inventory growth. Like, we had things. We learned a lot of lessons in 07, 08, 09. Like, where a lot of people learned, we were growing up. And today, as we sit here, we're a strong company. You know, we have a strong management team. We have executives that want to be here. We have a team of nearly 14,000 that want to do and build the best company in the world, and nobody's going to tell us any different.
Okay, you know, you're a guy, you know, you're very successful. I found out Under Armour, I found out many things. My daughter was captain of her field hockey team, and she comes home, and she's wearing this pink shirt, and it's got UA, and I'm trying to figure it out. How did you get into the consciousness of that generation?
Yeah. You know, little kids, like, is it athlete? Is it brand? Is it these things? Like, the fact is that what is infused in every product that we sell, number one, we never steal from the equity of our brand, meaning that little kid, your daughter, little boys and little girls all over the world, when they put on an Under Armour top or Under Armour bottom, they feel like there's a superpower involved and inside of that shirt, where they might have thought they could do this, but with Under Armour, I can do just a little bit more.
But it's apparel.
But it's not. It's our product begins with the fit, the fabric, the form, the function. It begins with the point of view. Why did we make that product? Not just because we thought we could slap a logo and sell more units at a higher price, but because it's meant to wick moisture. It's meant to keep you cool, meant to keep you warm, whatever the case may be. Never letting you get too hot, never letting you get too cool. And we can never compromise that. So that's one thing that goes into every product we build. You're not going to see us as a license house. You'll see us as someone that we are aggregators. We will find the best things in the world, and we'll bring them and put them under our portfolio of the Under Armour brand. And that's not unlike our connected fitness platform with this new program we have called Healthbox. And
which I have, and my son hijacked.
Well, I'm going to...
17-year ripped guy. Everyone's younger guys want to be ripped.
Yes, so he wants to put weight on, right? But the rest of us are starting to look and say, how do I control it? How many days were you sick last year?
Shoot, well,
think about it. You'll say you're an A-type, and you'll go, I don't get sick. I go,
I get sick, but I play through sickness because...
just go on...
Because Walter Payton... Biggest game, 104 temperature. That's what we have to do.
Yes.
We play through it.
Yes. But why? But why not this year? No.
Because we want to win.
If you ask me when I get sick, I'd say, you know what? I catch a cold every time it goes from summer into fall, every time it goes from winter back into spring. And I'd say, but, well, why don't I know that empirically? Why don't I have something to tell me, a digital dashboard that's telling me, like, when did I get sick? And if so, why don't I start loading up on zinc and vitamin C? Start putting myself in a position like, why do we sit back and know the least amount of information about the most important thing in our world, and that's our health?
Now, one of the things, we like Damon John, I'm sure you love Shark Tank. Can you talk about the power of being broke?
Yes.
These are the things, the power of what is inside you. The power of what? The power of family, the power of win, the power of listen, the power of triumph. Yeah. What is the power inside you?
You'll find, I think, from any entrepreneur, is that it is a sense of timing, of I'm late. I don't know if I'd call it fear, but it's definitely, what if we go broke? What if happens? I've been there. I've sat at the toll booth at the Delaware Memorial Bridge with the nice lady asking me where my $2 was and saying, I'm returning from Atlantic City, and I spent it all in a blackjack tournament, so I was trying to make payroll on Monday morning. I don't have the $2. And when you know that feeling and you've lived it and you've been there and then been able to build from that, you'll never forget it. You never want to go back, and you want to make sure you do everything in your power to put yourself in a position to never have to do that again.
And you take no prisoners.
Yes, we live in a great country. We have amazing opportunities, and again, it is up to all of us to decide to make that to happen.
Let's leave it at that. That's Kevin Plank. He's founder and CEO of Under Armour. If you didn't feel inspired by that, I can't help you. Stay with Cramer. Booyah! Jim Cramer here from Mad Money. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube. Click here to subscribe and get the jump on my exclusives with CEOs, plus market news, investing advice, and a whole lot more.